All right. I'm waiting to see. Yep, there we go. It looks like we're live. Leah and I are trying something new today for Facebook Live this week. So we finally got the fancy camera going and we're doing it through Zoom. So bear with us as we figure it out and go along. The fun thing is we'll both be able to be on camera. So Leah's here today too to start off.
Hi, everyone. Excited to be joining you guys.
We're hoping that some of the sound issues and the camera, and I'll be able to switch between the front facing and the down, and Leah and I will both be able to talk. So we're kind of hoping this works, and I'm going to do my best. I should be able to keep it open and keep up on comments and such, but if I miss something or whatever, just bear with us as we sort out this new system here.
And just bear in mind that while going through Zoom, we have about a 22-second delay. So there might be a little bit of a delay when we're answering questions and such, but I will still be moderating, and I will still be, after we get through our fun little intro part here, I will shut my camera off, I will mute myself, and I will still be answering your questions in the comment section.
Perfect. And I see some faces popping on there. So hi, Carol. Hi, Bertie. Hi, Diane. I'm going to recap again because I started talking as some of you were probably just joining in. We're kind of kicking off a new format a little bit here. We've been able to set up the new cameras we were talking about. We're going through Zoom. So Leah and I will both kind of pop in at the beginning on camera, and we'll be able to switch between cameras. Hopefully the sound and the video quality will just be better than ever. And but just bear with us. There might be some bumps along the road, as there always is with anything fun and new and technical. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Cheryl. See lots more people joining in. Myra, welcome. All right. So since we have a few people on here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. You probably saw the beautiful card that we're going to be inspired by today. And I am going to have to just kind of hope that this gets up in the camera because I don't have the same camera system that I'm used to here. But we're gonna, this beautiful card by one of our design team members, Natasha, and I just loved how pretty it is. And she made this for our brand new October monthly challenge. So I'm gonna shake up the colors a little because it's a fairly simple, easy card. We're gonna do a couple different color combos and just play with some different stuff. So this is also kind of a fun reminder that if you don't know about our October monthly challenge, I'll let Leah tell you about that one real quick.
Hey everyone. Okay, so when I get back to the moderating part and as Heather starts going through her fun card demo today, I will be sure to link to it, but we have a monthly challenge every single month. And this month it is fall and autumn themed, and we took some really beautiful color inspiration from our Days of Splendor collection, which is our first fall paper collection. However, we know that we also have people that are primarily stampers, and so you can use any of your Paintbrush Studio products. Many of the colors translate to our inks. So, but the good thing to know about our October challenge is there's two $50 gift card codes up for grabs just for creating and entering your project into the challenge. So we pick one scrapbooking entry and one card making entry to win a $50 gift card. So it's definitely worth it to play along each month.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so right before I turn the camera around here, I'm just going to show you the couple set. I have to keep remembering where to aim my face because I'm used to looking down at comments and then looking up at the camera, and it's all kind of connected. So this is from our August release. It's the Sending Love and Hugs stamp set. It's a fun layered set. And then one of the changes I'm making to Natasha's card is the diagonal stitched rectangles. I'm die cutting that out. So we've got some fun ink colors. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and flip my camera, or not flip my camera around, switch cameras. See, another thing I'm so used to saying that I have to switch. And Leah's gonna tell you really quick, remind you about how to enter today's giveaway.
All right, so as always, every week when we are broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook, we love to interact with you. We love to read your comments. Definitely share this video stream onto, wherever you'd like. And we choose one comment to win a $15 gift card code at the end of the show. So I will be doing that when I kind of shut my stuff down and start to moderate the comments. I also do want to mention before Heather takes back over and does her demo that our ink cube sets are now back in stock. So they have been restocked, and you're the first people that I'm telling, other than the people that had signed up for a restock notification. So I know many people that watch our lives have been waiting for the ink cubes to be restocked, waiting so patiently. And so I'm here to say that they are back in stock. So definitely go run on over to the shop and grab them. And then one final thing, I just wanted to say thank you to Polly for your nice comment on my room. I really appreciate that.
Okay, and I think I have everything switched around. Did I unmute correctly?
You are unmuted, and I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and turn the video off.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I just kind of laid everything out here. This is just my little crappy computer printout of Natasha's card. I always do it so I kind of have a reference of what I'm being inspired by. My computer doesn't necessarily print the most beautiful colors, and I think I need to refill some ink. So ignore that it doesn't look quite as beautiful. And then on the other side here, I went ahead and printed off. This is just a peek at the monthly challenge graphic. You can see it much better on the Pink Fresh blog. But I went ahead and pulled from these colors to enter the challenge. So first of all, it's fall or autumn themed. So just by using the colors, automatically you kind of hit that fall and autumn color scheme. But also you can kind of mix and match some of the colors in here. So I'm going to use, for one color combo for the flowers, I'm going to use Peach Fuzz and Persimmon, which are kind of these peach and orangey tones. And then I'm going to do the leaves in Aquamarine, and then the sentiment in that Storm. You don't have to hit every color that's on here. A lot of times with color challenges, I look and think I have to do every single color. It just means kind of fit it within those colors. And then I'm going to do 2 shades of pink to cover that. I'm going to use the blue for the leaves, and then my sentiment in Tidal Pond, which is a deeper in that same color family as the Aquamarine. And we're going to use Sending Love and Hugs and diagonal stitched rectangles. So we're keeping it pretty nice and simple today. That's why we're doing 2 color combos, because I really love, especially if you have a Misty to use like I'm going to be using today. If you're doing a layered stamp set, it's really nice to mix up and do a couple different color combos, because you can. So why not? It's kind of the way I look at it. So, and I didn't test stamp any of these out, but I feel pretty confident that they're going to stamp and work great. So, all right. So we're going to start here with, and Leah did mention, Sharon, I'm just seeing your comment. She might have already responded. Yes, please go ahead and share, do all the usual things to enter the giveaway for today. And yeah, then we'll get that going. All right, so I'm going to start here with this Sending Love and Hugs. I'm going to start with the most solid floral image on here. And if you look on the back as usual, so I'm not using the dies, which are tucked in here. So let me pull those out of the way. But it kind of shows a quick, easy layering guide, which is always, always really great. Color challenge. Oh, and M. Helton Lasser color challenge. You don't have to use our inks. I just pulled from our inks. But if you use any of our product in whatever ink or color, I mean, you can color with watercolor or Copic. So I'm just kind of highlighting our color challenge so you know. Leah already talked about the great giveaways that are associated with it. So just check that out. But no, our inks are not a requirement. Although if you ever get any of our inks and have a chance to use them, my guess is you will fall in love and want to have them all. So don't be surprised if that happens too. All right, I'm going to start here, just kind of line this up. I just want to kind of do it over that corner there. So I'm going to pick that up with the lid of my Misty, and I'm hoping, I think I'm going to want to turn this sideways. It's going to be a horizontal card, but I'm kind of afraid it's not going to show if I turn it the other way. You're not going to be able to see me inking it up. So I'm going to start with the lightest of our 2. So I've got 2 panels here die cut with diagonal stitched rectangles. And I'm going to do Peach Fuzz first. And this is the lightest in our orange inks. I love this really soft color. Because it's so pale and I'm going to do my next layer with a rather deep color, I'm going to go ahead and stamp this twice. just so that I get a little bit darker of this pale shade, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna clean that off real quick, but I'm gonna leave that lined up right where I have it there. I'm gonna switch out to my other little panel I have. Make sure that's dry before I set it down. This set has coordinating dies. I'm not using them for today's card because we're just going directly onto our panel, which is kind of fun and handy. All right, the next color I'm going to use is the ballet slippers. This is my lightest shade for my other color combo that I'm doing. And same thing, since it's such a nice light pale color, I'm going to go ahead and stamp that as well. That's probably one of my favorite pink colors. Excuse my squeaky cleaner there. So these are the two shades we started with, Peach Fuzz and Ballet Slipper. So I'm gonna set those off to the side and let me think here for a moment. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the other portion of this now so that we go ahead and use this floral both the times we need to. So for this one, I noticed she alternated the direction that it came in, and I really liked that. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy it along with that same idea there, almost meeting them in the middle. Okay, and then repeat these same ink colors again. So that pale ballet slipper, again, I'm gonna stamp it twice there. And then swap over back to the peach. Just clean off the ink there. And then we'll swap this one back over. And for this one, go back to the Peach Fuzz. I had to not lose my place so far there. Yes, I've heard someone say that going over them a couple of times with an eraser. A lot of times the first time I stamp them, I just make sure I stamp them on scrap paper. It gets the little bit of dust and stuff that gets on the stamps when they're manufactured. And it's mostly on a bigger solid image that you're going to notice maybe that you might need to do that sometimes. So it's not every single stamp that you ever get, but the more large and solid an image, particularly in clear stamps, it's not really as much of an issue with like the background. But yes, an eraser. Something else is I've noticed ink them up with like a clear embossing ink and then clean them off, and that seems to help condition them a little bit as well. So there's a couple different ways to do that. Okay, let's put this one. We'll move on to our next darkest shade there. Make sure and line that up there. And put away that large floral image. Yes, the layers are going to make this come to life, Sharon. I see your comment there. One of the best parts about layering stamps is just how much it makes everything come to life. All right, so again, move this up here. You can pretty well see on here with no effort exactly how to line these up, but just for the sake of the reference and the fun of it, I'm going to show you real quick on this layering guide. You can kind of see here where you want to line this one up so it kind of comes along here, and that one fits. Let's see here. I got to turn this upside down because I'm doing it upside down. There we go. Then I can find my alignment spots. So you want that to line up along the edge there. So I'm pretty much set here with where I want to get those set and lined up. I think that does it. I'm looking at it, I'm going, okay, wait, I gotta adjust just a little tiny. Usually I get my head right over the top, so I feel a little off kilter as I'm trying to do that. So, okay, now we've got that on there. Okay, persimmon is the color we're gonna do for the layering on this. So this is the first little layer we're gonna add onto the florals here on this one. Pretty sure I got that lined up. Yes. And I'm gonna do, I don't have to, but I'm gonna go ahead and just continue on. I know Laura Basson generally does this. She likes to repeat stamp each time with the inks just to get the bolder, darker. So we're just going to go bold and dark today. Let's see, Sharon, easier to see in person. As far as the alignment, it's easier to see if you can put your head directly over without worrying about putting the back of your head in the video for everybody to see. But as you can see there, that lined up quite well without too much effort anyway. All right, so there was the persimmon on that one. I'm going to do Sparkling Rose is the next color. And we'll add that layer over the top of this. Then we'll rotate around and do the other one on the other side. So that'll be the next step on here. And I bet Natasha was a little smarter than me, and she probably lined it up in her MISTI so that she only had to just, you know, move and rotate. But I didn't plan ahead enough on that to test it out and make sure I could make it work like I wanted. So I kept it a little simpler. Okay, I'm going to turn this again so that I can line these up where I want. And this is probably even easier to line up because I really only have to worry about the little bitties on here. I don't have to worry about some of the bigger images. So as long as it's kind of hitting and touching on those, I know I'm going to be pretty good. So Sparkling Rose again. And we'll do that over the top. I just love these pinks. Don't know if I'm the only one, but they're so pretty. And I love them together. Oops, shaking my desk a little there. Okay, clean that off. And the final layer, when we add those leaves, that's what's really going to make this magically come together. So be watching when we get to that spot. This one I feel like definitely has more of a fall feel, but I love that these all still fit in that color combo. Okay, persimmon again, back to that one. And again, I probably should have just stamped that one once because it's such a bold, dark color, but you know what? It's okay, I'm gonna keep it consistent. We've already done it that way on one side, so I better not change it up now. That would just make it weird. Okay. Oh, Bubblegum and Sparkling Rose are both close, Leah, so I know sometimes I use those interchangeably. And I actually pulled out Bubblegum first and I was going to use that, and then I ended up switching it up to the other color. So I went between the two anyway when I started. All right, let's get that one put away. I'm always kind of funny about making sure to put my stamps away because I feel like the more they're off, the more they collect dust and then they get dirty and it's harder to clean them to get them ready to use again. So, okay, let's get that centered on here. And here is where, quick look at that layering guide. And again, I'm looking at it upside down because that's gonna match with what I have going on here. But you notice in particular, those two are gonna fit in there. All of these are gonna fit right in there. And pretty much we've kind of got this all coming together really fast. A lot of times I like the die cuts on these because I find it easier to line them up sometimes when you're using the negative space for the die cut like we do very often during the week. But it's kind of fun to do in one layer like this as well. Okay. Catching up the comments real quick. It's actually a stamp chamois and I'm using it to clean my stamp. And since I have it in my hand, I'm just using it to clean the ink that's overlapping on the MISTI. I don't know what that question was for, but I saw someone asked what I was using to clean. So I think that comment already scrolled back. So I've lost who said it, but hopefully you know who you are. All right, aquamarine ink. Going bold for this one. This is a little closer to the color combo that Natasha used for her card. So it's kind of fun to sort of go with a similar color combo. Isn't that pretty? Love just how bold that is with the contrast. So pretty. Okay, and then switching over there, try to make sure that's dry before I set this on here. And then I'm gonna shake it up a little and do Blue Jay for the leaves on this one. Just, it's kind of fun to do colors that you wouldn't always necessarily see in nature, but I think it's kind of fun. Ooh, I love that. It looks kind of old-fashioned cottagey almost to me. Is it just me? Okay, and again, I just stamped it 2 times because why not? All right, and then we will peel that off and we'll rotate this around and we'll do the same thing to line this one up over on the other side. Again, super duper easy. I'm not even really working that hard to line these up because it's fitting pretty good. There's only a couple just where the stems line up there with the leaves that I'm making sure that I line up on. Okay, and I'm not even gonna stamp. I don't know if you noticed when I did this, those leaves aren't even on there, so I don't even have to ink up those leaves. Oops, unless, you know, you drop your ink pad in the middle of what you're working on, get some ink on them anyway, then you might as well. Yes, like a vintage China design on a teacup. I was thinking something like that. It just feels like something you'd see in an antique store. I don't know. I love that. Okay, then the last one of the leaves here on this one. And this one, we're going back over to that aquamarine ink. Same thing. Just the leaves that are going to show on here. Do them 2 times to get the boldest, darkest color combo we can. Clean that off. And there we have all of our floral layers there. The only thing now that I'm having second thoughts on, I think I went so bold in my color combos, I'm a little worried that my sentiment might kind of get lost in there, but we're going to put it over there and just kind of see what we think. And then if anything else, I'll just switch to a different sentiment because that might be what we need to do, and maybe even put it in a different spot. I feel like I got a little bit of gunk there. Maybe just a little smudge of ink on my fingers. Okay, hold that in place. And this was, no, you know what? I think we'll be okay. I think as long as I kind of tuck it, nestle it in there, I think it'll be okay. But we could switch to a different sentiment. Although I think I just really like that sending love and hugs. And yes, I did think about doing it on vellum. I just wanted to see if I could keep the same color combos going here that I was playing with. So let's see how it goes. This one I was going to stamp with Storm ink. Let's see how it goes, because I think I really did love that it was kind of a nearly 1 layer design. Yeah, I think that shows up okay. I think I might have grouped my florals a little closer in the middle than Natasha did, but I think we can make it work. So Storm for that one, which is a really deep blue. It almost looks black. And then do Tidal Pond, which is the deepest of the aqua ones. Lana, you know what? If you have ink swatches, that's a great way. And color combos are also, when you have a color combo challenge, and you can just kind of pull from those colors, that really helps me kind of branch out and try some new color combos. So it's something I really like to branch out and try new, because sometimes I just get stuck in a rut of my favorite colors. So I really like when I can switch things up and try something new. Okay, so we have our 2 color combos. Let me get that tucked out of the way. And I already did some soft gray card bases. But before we finish here, oops, I did smudge a little bit there. Before we finish, you know there's one thing missing, right? Waiting for someone to point out what I got to finish. And Sharon, that's right. You can always start over. And you know what? One other thing, if you want to play with different color combos, something like this with a layering stamp that you can set up in the MISTI and just stamp a bunch and play. That's a great way to play with different colors. And just, I mean, completely switch it up. Sometimes do something totally unexpected, like do the leaves in pink and the flowers in green, or something, just twisting it and doing it different ways. It's kind of a fun way to experiment and try new things. So here we go. Time for our favorite. We need some jewels on here. I know, and this one I'm almost feeling like I have it in gray here, but I feel like that needs a craft base. Let me see if I have, oh, I think I even have a craft card base ready. Sorry, I jetted away from the, oh, nope, this one's trimmed too small. And you know what? I still think I like the gray better on that. I'm just gonna keep it soft and neutral. Just had to see once I thought about it, so. And yeah, and you know what? Use a deep color like this. It's a hint of color, Megan, because I mean, generally speaking, I do like black the best for sentiments, but every now and then it's fun to do something, and doing it this way, it's still close to black, so you're going to be able to see it well, but it's not going to be something where you'll lose your spot or anything like that. Okay, we need lots of bling on these, don't you think? That's what I feel like anyway. Okay, all the different sizes, and this is just kind of the ivory colored. I really love just tucking a bunch of them here at the base of the flowers. I think that that looks really fun. Let's see. Just got to plan a little here. I didn't prepare for any placement here, so just kind of winging it. And I think, nope. I think I will only put it on the larger ones there. I feel like when I start tucking it around, maybe I'll just put one or two kind of loosely tucked around to, yeah, we'll do that. These are going to be heavy with bling, but that's okay. How can you go wrong with that? Yes, these are our beautiful jewels mix, which if you've not seen, oh goodness. Okay, hold on. Before I start grouping them around, I just realized I still need to get them over on this side here. So I should probably focus my efforts there first, don't you think? We might have so much bling on here that we won't be able to lift the card afterwards. Not to mention, you're probably gonna get really tired of watching me stick it all in place. So let's see. I think we need a little one there and a little one there. And definitely a couple more here. Yeah, I don't think we need any extra other than just on the flowers. I think that's going to be an adequate amount. That's my thought here as I'm looking at this. Okay. And I think about like that. So let's go ahead and adhere these ones on. Yes, Lana, that's where, just like I said, play with it and do some different. You might love the realistic ones the most, but you might find that you really like something different. So that's okay too. All right, my little jewel picker, and let's start. And then we'll move over to the pink one and do some on that as well. Unless you're tired of watching me stick down jewels, that's probably going to be the slowest part of this entire card, sticking all of the jewels down. But I think that's going to add so much just to the, if you wanted to keep this one layer and easier to mail, you might want to skip the bling, but I figure bling is worth a little extra postage if I need. Or hand delivering is even better if you can do that. Do a no contact drop at someone's house. Something fun like that. Okay, almost done. Now I gotta decide whether we want the lighter pink or the darker pink on the other color combo. Okay, little glossy accents over the edge there. I should have adhered this onto my card base first, but that's okay. You know what else I noticed too? So Sharon, one thing with the jewels, when you're doing them on florals like this, it makes it really easy because you just kind of cluster them where the flowers are. What was I going to say? Oh, splatters. I know Natasha did some splatters. So I'm trying to, yes, this is a glossy accent bottle for, it's what I like to use to adhere the jewels. Has a little fine tip on it. That's a Jennifer McGuire thing. Yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the other pink on here, and then we'll decide if we want to do splatters before I adhere these onto the card base. And I don't know about you guys, but my first thought here is I'm kind of feeling like we want the bright pink. See what everyone thinks. Oh yeah, this is totally a bright pink moment. And now that I've figured out my placement on the other card, totally gonna cheat and just copy that, because there's no point in reinventing the wheel on that one as far as I'm concerned. So might as well just, if it worked good enough for the other one, let's just stick with that. Definitely going to use more of the small and medium on this, which is good because I feel like I tend to run out of my large ones more often, and I don't know why. I don't feel like I use large size all the time, but that always seems to be the one that I run out of. So who knows? And thank you again. I don't know if she's watching now, or maybe we'll watch later on replay, but I want to make sure and say again, thank you to Natasha for the beautiful inspiration for these. If you joined in late, these are totally not my idea. I just kind of mixed up the color combo, and we're being inspired by her cards that she made for the October challenge, just with some different color choices. Okay. Let's quickly just add these down, and then we'll see if we want to add a few simple little sparkle splatters, not sparkle. We're adding the sparkle, add the splatter. Two of my favorite things to add to a card. And I think I'll just add them with the, oops, sorry, hold on. I'm gonna mess up my jewels here if I talk too much while I put these on. Gotta focus for a moment. Okay, I think I got all that side on. Turn it around. Fortunately, this little jewel picker makes this job go fairly fast, which is part of why I love the investment. This one is the Studio Katia version. I also have the Crystal Katana, and I use them both fairly interchangeably. I don't know if someone asked about that, but usually someone wonders about that every week. Okay. Then oh, nope, I missed. Which ones did I miss? Oh, yep, it was those ones. I always tip them up to make sure I've got them all adhered down, and then I couldn't remember where those ones had come from. Okay, now we're all done on that one. So let's add a few simple, quick little splatters before I adhere these card bases down. Lana, the new release is next week on the 16th. So be watching after about this Friday. We should be starting to have a few sneak peeks going on. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my little protect my desk box, and I'm just gonna do one of these at a time. Let me make sure this is fitting on the camera view here. I'm just gonna coordinate my splatters, I think, to what I use for my sentiment. So I'm gonna use Tidal Pond and smoosh a little of it here on my clear block. Hoping this shows up in the frame. I'm just waiting a second to make sure. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be on there. So I'm adding a tiny bit of water just to that ink there, and a little tiny paintbrush. And we're just going to add ever so smallest. Hold on. I always like to start carefully because I don't want to over splatter. And on these ones, I think there's enough going on. I'm going to keep my splatter pretty light. So I think we're just going to end there on that. Could do more, but doesn't that just kind of bring it to life so quickly? One little final finishing touch. It still looks really fun without that, but I really like the little touch that adds. Okay, and then Storm, which is what we used for the sentiment on this one. Smoosh a little of that on my clear block and do the exact same thing. Just pick a little bit of that up with my brush. Oops, I think I just got some water on there first. Natasha's always kind of the queen of splatters, I feel like. She always does splatters so well on her cards. So, okay. And that didn't take very long at all. So now we can move that out of the way and finish these off. Now I'm going to clear these down. I took a page out of Leah's book here. She recently shared how she makes foam panels for the back of her cards. So I ordered up a pack of fun foam and some super wide score tape so that I could copy her idea, because I go through a lot of foam tape and I use the fun foam, but I haven't thought to do it on a big scale like this, so I have an entire panel. So thank you to Leah for this idea and little crafting hack there. We can adhere that down. I think I missed a tiny bit of my splatters there, got on that card base. But there's that one done, and then we can adhere this one onto here the same way. And I'm putting it, I could put it on the back of the panels. I'm just not wanting to smear those splatters yet. They're pretty well instantly dry, but I still didn't want to risk it. So I figured it was safer just, boy, I got really messy fingers today somehow. I wonder how I did that. I think that must have been just now when I was doing the splatters. I must have just gotten ink on my fingers, because wow, that's kind of messy. Inky fingers means you must have had a good day crafting, right? Although it's a really good way to ruin your white space on a card too. So I'm cleaning this off a little bit. Sharon, I believe you can. You might have to use a shim or something to do it. I haven't done it that much. So that's a good question. I feel like I've seen Jennifer McGuire do it a lot. So I'm pretty sure that that's, yes, that roll of tape that came. And Holly, I do my best to send them. All my Pink Fresh ones go into Pink Fresh headquarters to use for just different promotions and things that they have going on. And then, like Leah said, die cutting foam can stretch it out. And then I actually sell my cards by donation, and it goes to a fund that I support. I've kind of done for years. It's where my blog name, Houses Built of Cards, came from. So a lot of my cards, people just sell them by donate or buy them by donation, and it goes to building houses for widows and orphans in Burundi in Africa. So it's kind of a mix of everything. I try and send some off. I can't go to a family birthday party or anything without a birthday card in hand. And a lot of times people will request certain ones. Right now, just being homebound a little bit more, I have 4 overflowing boxes of cards. So I need to kind of get those updated online. I'm going to show these up a little bit closer here, hoping that kind of centers on there so you can see it a little bit and see all the sparkle and everything up close. And again, I think if I did these again, I would space out the flowers just a dab, and then I'd have a little more room for my sentiment in there, but I still feel like it shows okay on there. And then there's the sparkle. All right, I think we have wound these down. The squishing factor. All right, so I'm going to give time here for Leah to pick a winner and get it announced on here. Next week, we have Facebook Live. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I'm seeing everyone comment, and if you didn't know the name of my blog, yep. Oh, and there's our winner. Congratulations to Nikki Baxley. All right, I'm going to go ahead real quick. I'm going to switch the camera back to my face since it's a little bit easier to do that now while I tell you the last couple things here. Give me just a second here. I think I can do this pretty quickly. All right. Yes, there we go. All right, I can keep watching the comments. So next week we have, all right, we still have Facebook Live this week on Thursday. Then starting next week, we have YouTube Live on Tuesday. We have Facebook Live still on Thursday. Starting on Wednesday, the same time I do Facebook Live, we are going to be starting a new scrapbook live event. So that'll be Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific time, which is noon Central. So same time that we do Facebook Live on Thursday. So you're going to want to pop in and check that as well. This Saturday is not Craft Hour with Jeff, but the week after we'll be back to doing that again. And then next week is also our release. So next week's going to be a really big week. There's going to be 4 lives and then the release blog hop. So I really hope that you can join for all of that. In the meantime, I think we're done for now. So I'm going to say bye and we will see you again on Thursday of this week. Have a great week, everybody.